Hi everybody,
What's
this
up,
is
everyone?
Debra, this is Terran and Quinton,
What's up, everybody?
and we're hanging out in Piedmont Park, and I wanted to share these beautiful people with you. I met Terran and Quinton at WeWork, Atlanta, which is a co-working space, and Quinton did a presentation with his company Produce For Yourself.
Yeah, not officially like a company, but it's more of like an organization coming up. Some
I like
sort
to call
of
it a brand because
a
it's
brand. I
It's
guess.
a term. People be like, "Oh, produce for yourself." I mean, produce for yourself.
Yeah.
And then you all also own a soap company called Urban Eden.
Yes.
And it's all natural soap. It has essential oils and herbs in it. Is that right?
Yep.
And you guys have like a booming business with your
We
soap.
do, yes. And the demand for
Yeah,
natural
somebody-
soap is definitely on the rise.
You know,
Okay.
I'm always my worst critic. You said booming, but
You're like, no.
I'm like,
Don't lie.
we're working towards but we've definitely came some ways from the beginning. Like we've been growing from making like one batch at a time to like hundreds of bars at a time.
Shoot, I was just reading my journal today, and it was from January 2016, and I was like, soap orders are doing fine. We do about 15 to 20 orders a month, and I was like, that was 2 years ago. That's
Right.
what we
Doing
were
a
doing,
lot
15
more.
to 20
Like
a
a
month.
day.
Yeah.
A day, wow.
Right.
That's so amazing.
I mean, it takes time, but yeah, I guess we could say booming.
But you
It's
guys,
it's doing
you guys
better.
are so
Growing.
inspiring to me. Like, I want to make sure I'm in here. When I first came back to Atlanta, I had all my old friends, you know, that I was reconnecting with. But you guys are new friends to me,
Right.
and you're so inspiring to me. Like, I'm sitting here, I'm like 39 years old, and you guys are like, you're like the millennial generation, and you're so. I was so inspired going to your event and like hearing just all about, you know, how to create an online presence and market yourself and
Internet.
and you guys are you married?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're married
married.
couple. and-
26.
Okay.
26. We'll be
26.
It's be 5 years in December.
I'll be 27 this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
But but I mean, what you even saying about just the energy and just millennials and using the internet, I mean, I feel like it's just, what did I say the other day? Like when someone's starting any venture and you don't have that access to capital, you got to use what's around you. And I mean, us millennials grew up with this, so I mean, it's like this is what we know how to use, and you can communicate with tons of people like
Around the world.
like that. So that's what we've leveraged and used for right now, without having a whole access to like lots of capital, you know, things of that nature. But it's fun though. It's learning. though. I'm learning.
So
so
15
much.
to 20 orders a day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
some days.
So you're
some
always
days.
going to the post office? Or?
Yes.
yes,
most
they
definitely.
hate. They don't like us at the post
they
office.
yes. We have videos literally we can show you where the people are like looking at us crazy like.
We went to a new one now because the one lady there, she just like, one time she actually told us, she was like, I'm kind of happy to see y'all, I'm kind of not. I was like, okay, lady.
They don't want to see it. But I mean, we can get the post office to come pick up from us. We do that sometimes if we have if we do pre-orders and we're not fulfilling orders for like 2 weeks, we're not gonna go and run up there with 100-something orders. They're gonna be very pissed at us, but
we try to get orders out as efficiently as possible, so.
because it's just us two.
It's just us two, yeah. And we just get the orders out, but I guess the post office is, but we print out the labels, we like do that step so we don't have to like
just drop it
go
off
up there and do everything.
Just drop it off.
Yeah.
I love your branding too, by the way. I love your packaging and everything.
Oh,
yeah.
good, thanks. A good friend of ours actually did that for us. He just did a whole brand development plan for us. And I think, I can't really recall, but I do believe that I told him, like, when we even came out with Urban Eden, I just thought it was such a cool name. Like, I already had the urban part with the way that it's spelled HERB''N, like, because I saw an urban farm. And they spelled urban like that. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. And I didn't have the business yet, but when I did come out with the business, I was like, okay, I definitely want to have that in the name. And then so we had to go back to the drawing board and figure out the second part of it. And we came out with Urban Eden. And I loved it because I was like, we start with the soaps. Like I make soaps now, but I love herbs, like herbalism, making herbal products. So I was like, it's vague. Like I can come out with so many other herbal products, and then the soaps are herbal as well. So
right, so it could like start with soap, but then move on to other
soap is
things.
the foundation. Bar soap, because I mean, she had the love for herbs. It was like, oh, I can put herbs in soap, so that'll be my catalyst to have my passion. You know, put my passion into the soap.
So okay, I have 2 questions.
Yeah.
One is, have you always been into holistic lifestyle? And then 2 is, have you always felt like you were an entrepreneur? Like how did you get into both
I'll
things?
answer the first one, and then the second one you could probably definitely answer because you're the entrepreneur. He's more the entrepreneur spirit. But as far as the holistic lifestyle, no, I wasn't always into the holistic lifestyle. I didn't grow up like that at all. And my parents are still not into that life. Like, I look at them now, and even with some of the things that they eat and, like, you know, the medicines that they take, and I'm like, I was raised like this. Like, this is it's so crazy to me because that's not me anymore.
Yeah.
But I did, at some point, I cut off my hair and, like, just started this whole, like, just natural hair journey. And from there, even getting with Quinton probably, we ate like canned food and stuff growing up for me. I didn't have fresh vegetables and whatnot. I hadn't seen food grown. I didn't know anything about herbs. I knew prescription medicine and antibiotics growing up as far as healing. And so like even kind of being more so around Quinton and his family, I think that they were definitely on that a little bit more than I was.
Yeah, not I wouldn't say like a whole. It wasn't
not
like not a whole lot because my dad was a Muslim, practiced Muslim religion. Then they went Christianity. Then they went Hebrew Israelite. So I mean, when you're in those religions, you know you have a strict diet. You know, no pork. So we've never really ate pork. That was really the only holisticness of my life. Really coming up was just no pork. So that was.
You still ate McDonald's.
Yeah, we still like.
I didn't grow up into holistic either.
Yeah,
No.
I think it's just now becoming like. I'm not gonna say trendy, but it's becoming more awareness. People are more aware. Yeah.
And that's why I think there's definitely a place for us. Like our market is truly growing. Yeah. But I'm also thankful, like even because we don't have kids yet, and I'm just so thankful about all of the things that we learn now as far as like holistic ideals. Because I'm like when we have children, like they will be raised within that lifestyle, and that's what they will know growing up, and those will be the decisions that they know is holistic lifestyle.
I don't think too many people. Well, maybe a few people might have grew up in it. You know? Well, not for me though. None of us. But the second question you asked was
about being entrepreneurs. Like, did you always kind of?
You know, that's a good question because I actually I like to sit down and think about where it came from. I wasn't always entrepreneurial. I was a sports head. I still am a sports head. I was like real in high school and coming up. I was playing football and stuff, but. I think it wasn't until maybe after high school, about 18, 19, I worked with a contractor teaching me how to grow food. Just being around people that was growing food got me in the mindset of a producer mindset. So I'm like, well, shoot, if I can grow my food and that's very autonomous, like I want to be able to do my own income as well. So that's when the switch that's when it happened. Looking back at my family, like my dad has always been a salesman. He used to have his own little hustles and whatnot. My grandmother had her own daycare. My grandfather had his own carpet laying business. So, I mean, I had some elements and influence subconsciously that I didn't point to directly when I first came into it, but then I was like, okay, that's where it came from. You know?
And I definitely didn't have it. Pretty much my goal was college and all. But like I said, I don't know, a lot of stuff stemmed from, like, our relationship. Like, I took on, like, this definition of myself, like, different things that I wanted to do in our relationship. And like even with, like you said, with us being at the farm, we interned at the farm, and so I started learning this concept of sustainability. And I was like, I want to learn how to, like, farming is a sustainable skill, and I was like, I want to learn another sustainable skill beyond farming. And so I just came across soap making, and then so when I started doing soap making, Quinton was like, you know, you should make a business out of it. And he already had his landscape business going, so he was well into the entrepreneurial lifestyle. And I was definitely like still working at that time, and that was just what I was doing, was just working, like that was it. And so I mean, I was nervous. I was like, me start a business? Like it just kind of like fell upon me. It wasn't something that like I was just determined to do. It fell upon me, and then it's been going.
Yeah.
Going and growing.
I always just wanted, like for me, I just wanted to have my own I think that's what it was. Just wanting to have your own. I mean,
Right.
I don't know. I always
Create
don't.
your own.
Yeah, just one of my
Whoa.
own. And that's where the name Produce For Yourself came from. I was watching like I said in the thing at the meetup, watching old videos, kept hearing myself say produce food. Like, well, shoot, I want to produce for myself now.
Right.
I want to produce my own type of stuff. And I did a lot of network marketing. So you know my network marketing, the pyramid scheme type schemes. Well, people think they're pyramid schemes. But
Yeah.
I will always do those, but I was like, it's something missing. It wasn't my own product. It wasn't my own service. I was promoting whatever else I was a part of. So I'm like, I want to build my own.
Right.
So that's where that came from.
I think more people now want to support local businesses, and they want to like know where their stuff comes from, and it seems like it's a growing movement.
Especially
thankful
today.
for it, yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
today with all this, I mean, with the thing we're recording on. With that, I mean, you just got so much access to, like, transparency is really key. Like, that's what one of the things we do a lot. It's just like, just show it all. Dove and all these other companies and whatever company, whatever niche you're in has lied to us. And it's because of us. It's because we wanted cheap product. We wanted cheap things. We just wanted to be able to buy these things through, what was it, I think through the 40s, 50s, and 60s. So they're like, well, we're just going to put anything in your products and you'll buy it because you just want cheap price, cheap products. You don't want to go to mom and pop anymore.
Well, we don't have sustainability anymore either. We're so like just reliable and getting our things from outside sources, because even before then people were making soap. Grandmothers were making soap.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They were making a lot of things, growing their own food.
We just wanted cheap things. That's what my book said. We just wanted cheap things as a society. So they're like, all right, we'll put rubber in your pizza, and we'll put.
And it matters so much, like what you're putting. That's kind of what you learn, right? When you start getting into healthy food, it's like not just what your skin is your largest organ.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that came
so
later
it's
for
not
me.
just what you're putting in, but it's like what you put on outside also gets absorbed in.
And through my research of like doing skincare, because like I definitely want to know a lot of different things, and like the business has definitely become my livelihood. So like I get a bunch of books on like skincare.
Yes, she does.
I got a book right there, Holistic Beauty from the Inside Out. I mean, it's just about holistic values. And that's another thing that we try to do, and that's what we use social media for as well, as for educating people, because with so many people getting into the natural market or like wanting to know more about natural products, it's like I feel like we have to educate, because a lot of us, like you said, we didn't grow up on holistic values. So a lot of us grew up on brands like Dove and Irish Springs and Ivory,
Degree.
Never used
Right.
natural soap.
Degree.
Yeah,
I
and
grew
even
up on
Degree,
Dove.
Secret.
Degree.
You said you grew up on Dove. We all
Dial,
did. Tone.
Lever.
Grew up on all these soaps. We had never known about natural soaps.
But what you said, you was like, once you start coming into it, start figuring out that the things that you
Right.
put on your skin. I didn't even know that after a while. Like, not after a while, but at first, like, I was conscious of, what you put in your body. But I didn't think that your skin was this important, because I never really had, like, super skin problems. But I didn't ever think about that until she started making soap. And I'm like, dang, I didn't know you could put essential oils in soap. And
That was what was
I
interesting
didn't know
to
that
me
you
too.
could do all of that. I'm like, I didn't know soap was just like, I thought
Something
soap was
that
just
you could
soap.
make,
Like,
right? I thought that Dove and all of them were the only
Like,
people who made soap.
yeah, like, and I was just coming out of college, so in college you're just trying to get by.
Right.
So you just buy the cheapest stuff.
Right.
So I wasn't even caring about that.
the
like,
dollar store sells soap. I mean,
yeah, like
everybody
it
sells
was.
soap.
Yeah, like you just didn't care, but now it's like, you should care about that type of stuff.
Speaking of which, I need to go back to my blog and put in some more stuff, because that's why I wrote this blog that I was writing today called Everything is Connected, because I was like, we've become so disconnected. We become so disconnected from our bodies. Like, even when we get sick, we're thinking that, we don't know what's going on. We want to take a pain pill or something just to knock out the pain, but it's like, what's really going on? Like,
Right.
what's really going on, the causes? And even with your skin, that's what I put into the blog today. I was like, a lot of people suffer from acne and eczema, and little do they know that it comes from hormonal and dietary imbalances within manifesting on the outside. I was like, a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
And we just gotta, that's what we're working on. And I think that's how we build our relationships too, is like just working on this connection with like minds.
Working on yourself.
Working on yourself, being a light unto yourself, and then others will see your light.
Yeah, because your business or whatever it is you do is a reflection of what you're doing. So like, even when it comes to the marketing, it's like, people are like, well, what do I post? Or what kind of content do I do? I mean, what do you do on a daily? Like, what is your life?
Right.
Because that reflects in your business, you know. So that's killing two birds, a couple stones right there.
It's so cool. I'm ready to sign up for more produce for yourself.
Oh, more things. Oh yes, definitely coming.
Sessions or
definitely
whatever.
coming soon. We have some
business coaching.
Man, like, I need to get organized on that. And even when we talked that night, I remember you were like, "There's so much money on the table that I'm leaving," and I'm like, "Same here." Like,
Right.
I need to get organized with me, but it's just because I'm just so focused on urban eating.
Right.
And urban eating is taking a lot of my time, so it's like I'm not really worried about. I'm not gonna say I'm not worried about produce for yourself, but I'm just focused on.
It'll come.
Yeah, I'm building what I'm building now with urban eating, and then that's gonna be, I guess, the segue.
I think that definitely helps too, because like I said, we always tell people, every time we talk to somebody, they're focusing on like 50 million different things. And Quinton is always like focused on one thing. Like even when I started making soap, prior to that, I was making jewelry. But I felt that like I wanted to invest more of my time into soap, into the business of soap. And so I didn't make jewelry anymore. I was like, I'm going to focus on, and I still like love jewelry, and I still have those jewelry pieces that I made as well.
You still wear them.
I still wear them and get compliments on them and everything, but it's just like the soap is what I chose to build. And when you put your focus into one thing, then it allows that to grow, you know? Mm-hmm. It's hard to kind of like be here, there, and everywhere. It's scatterbrained.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Well, it hasn't worked for me. I can't say that for everybody else though. Some people want to work on different things.
And I feel like once you get something to a certain point, though,
like
even that's how we're working with Urban Eating. Like right now, it's just the two of us, and we do want to add more people to the team. So like once we add more people to the team, I do product development, and this guy here, he is like super passionate about social media and marketing, and so that's what he does within the business. And so but there's more to that in the business too, more than product development and social media
and the shipping and
and financial
service.
Aspects of it, and
we all do all of those within the aspect of a customer service. I think I'm more customer service because I'm like looking at the phone all day, and I'm like, oh, somebody emailed us. As soon as someone emails you, oh, I didn't get my order, you gotta answer it.
Yeah, he took over. He's like, give me your email information because you don't look at your email that often. I was like, okay.
Well, I mean, you want to answer those people quickly.
No,
that looks really good.
You definitely do.
That looks good.
I don't know, me when this is what I was telling him, because I was like, when I'm like, if I'm making soap or something like that, if I'm doing something, like I'm not like, I don't know, sometimes I go a long time without even looking at my phone. There are times where I just go times without looking at my phone, because I'll be doing something and I just won't be near my phone. For some reason it doesn't ring as often as it needs to, but I just won't be on my phone sometimes, and sometimes you gotta get back.
There's nothing wrong with that at all.
The phone will take over. It's pros and cons, just like with social media. It is pros.
So what
and
are your top, like, what are your favorite soap flavors, or what are some of the interesting ones?
Like the one out of the ones we make? Yeah.
Or flavors. It's not really flavor, I guess.
When I say
varieties,
I love, well, I mean, the activated charcoal with peppermint is our #1 seller.
Cool.
Which will be like, I got top 3. I got activated charcoal, ylang ylang, patchouli, and lavender, and then the lemongrass and patchouli one. I think patchouli, I love patchouli a lot.
I tell people that I never really have favorites because I make them all.
They're like your children?
They're like my children. But I mean, I like them all. I use them. I feel like they all have different properties to them. So I use them whenever I feel the need. But some of the ones that I do gravitate more to are like tea tree and turmeric. I really love that one.
I haven't used that in a minute.
We haven't used that one in a minute. And that's why I had saved that like half a mini.
Because it sells out so quickly, we can't ever use it.
Oh.
Activated charcoal. I see every time I use it.
Thing right
it's
now.
trendy.
It's trendy,
It's very trendy.
Ours has peppermint essential oil in it, and it's just like that peppermint
Washes
is
your
just
sins
so
away.
amazing. Yes, you get out the shower feeling like a cool breeze. I remember one time me and Quinton, what were we doing? We were sweating like crazy last summer.
We were doing some landscaping.
Landscaping.
We was like, it was really hot. You know how hot Atlanta can get.
We was sweating. It was a hot day. We came home and I think we took it was a very lukewarm shower with the activated charcoal because we were that hot. Like, I don't want no hot water. Give me some lukewarm water. And I mean, I just felt so refreshed. And I was like, this soap Quinton even thinks about sometimes, he's like, should we do away with some of the other varieties and just do like activated charcoal? Cause
I'm still thinking about it.
yeah, it just does.
So
That's what everybody wants. It's so.
I have
popular.
activated charcoal toothpaste right now.
Yeah,
There
we
are
have the
activated
same
charcoal,
ones.
bath
Yeah.
bombs, toothpaste.
But you know what though? It's not even, the thing is, I think people like, it's not even the charcoal, it's the peppermint.
It's the peppermint.
It's
No,
the
but people
peppermint.
love charcoal though in general.
I know,
It's
but
like a
I promise you, I
detox
do know, but
thing.
people are like, oh, I didn't know activated charcoal smelled like that. So many people have said that, and I'm like, it's not activated charcoal, it's peppermint. That's what they
And I think too,
love.
the idea that like that soap has to be like white
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
versus
Oh, yeah,
that
'cause
you
that's
can
all
clean
the
yourself
ones
with
that
a
do.
like
It catches
a
the
black
eye,
colored
too.
soap.
People are scared of that too. They're like, does this come off on your washcloth and whatnot? And in the beginning, we did. In the beginning, it kind of did. Like my
Oh, it
mom
did
would be
at
like,
first?
yeah, my mom would be like, oh, she was the one person who was like, I can't use my white washcloths with this. But I think like now that we've been making soap for years and like our curing process, and you tweak things. I
Right.
think that in that
Just
amount
get
of
better.
time, yeah, it's kind of melded in and everything is fine.
Yeah.
The way I found out about activated charcoal was because I had food poisoning one day. And that's not a good experience. But activated charcoal, I took the little tablets, and so that's the way I found out about it. So it's so crazy that it's trendy, but it's like a very, very
It's
healing
good.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It is
detoxing
Mhm.
more than it just being black, like a black powder.
But like I tell you, peppermint is the #1 essential oil to put into a soap. That's my opinion. You know Dr. Bronner's.
I think
Right, the
lavender.
peppermint.
They have the peppermint.
They do.
Lavender.
They got
They're probably
lavender
the
though
best
too.
seller.
Lavender's
But
good too.
yeah, because that's the blue one, so
They're
everybody
probably top
does
two.
get
They're
that one.
top two.
I think that's our top. Well, tea tree and turmeric.
Tea tree.
Second one.
Well, as far as essential oil use, peppermint, lavender, tea tree.
We make 3
lemongrass.
soaps with lavender. And I'm thinking about adding another one because I love lavenders. Have you ever had like a geranium and lavender together?
Mm.
It's so divine. I want to add that I want to make that a soap. Or I might just make it a body oil or something. Like, it smells so good. It's yeah. Every time Quinton, he used up, like, he finished all the rest of the body oil that I made. But when I catch like a hint of him smelling like that, I'm just like, it's like one of those like, what was that?
Put ylang ylang in it too.
Oh, you put ylang ylang?
I love that scent.
Oh,
Ylang
yeah.
ylang, I love it.
love it.
I love it a whole lot, like a lot, like.
It's
a
the
lot.
perfect. It's considered the perfect essential oil because it has all 3 notes to it: the bottom, the middle, and the top note.
Okay.
So, and that's like interesting.
That's why that's one of my favorite soaps. I created that blend and that blend.
He did. He was doing a body oil massage on me one time, and I was like, "What is this?" And he was like, "It's a ylang ylang, patchouli, and lavender." I said, "This needs to be in a soap." I was like, "This just smells." It's very reminiscent of like baby oil, baby lotion to me.
Kinda, and then some people said it's masculine.
People do say it's masculine.
You think it's masculine?
Ylang ylang? Do you think so?
I don't know. It didn't
It didn't come to my mind.
I didn't
of that.
associate it.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, or I guess not even like people say. I don't know. We asked, is this more like a feminine smell? And I don't even know. I guess I don't even know.
I thought it was. I thought it was more lent more.
It's
to
like
the
maybe
feminine.
musky or something like that.
It is It is a little musky
But
because
it's floral.
because it has that earthy earth.
But yeah,
What do you
it's
call
floral.
that? Can't remember the name.
Well, patchouli is definitely like more musky, sweet, and then lavender is that floral. Yeah, ylang ylang is floral too.
Yeah.
Kind of musky. No, not musky.
I think I remember seeing somewhere, Terran, that you studied with like, was it Rosemary Gladstar or something?
We got invited to help volunteer at an herbal synergy conference. Have you ever heard of the farm in Summer?
Oh yeah, I've been there.
You've been there? Okay,
Yeah.
that's where we went to.
Oh, cool.
And that is such an awesome place. We camped out there.
Tennessee.
Tennessee. Did you stay like at the
Intentional
hostel or
community.
something, or did you just go and visit?
I just went and visited.
Just went and visited?
It was a
but
dope
yeah.
place.
Oh, it was a
I
really
love
cool
I love
place.
intentional community. We'll have to talk more about all that.
About those. Okay, I definitely want to talk more about those because that was really our first like insight into like a community like that, and I know that it's much different than when they started in the beginning. But yeah, we went to the herbal synergy conference, and we got invited. I'm thinking like, okay, it's gonna be an herbal synergy conference at the farm. But come to find out, like Rosemary Gladstar was there.
I didn't know who she was at the time.
He didn't know who she was. When I found out she was there, I said, Quinton, Rosemary Gladstar is gonna be here. He's like, who is that? I'm like, she's like the godmother of herbalism. Like, I was like, everybody refers to her books. Like, a lot of people love her. And then also Jane Bothwell was there as well, so they're really good friends. So she was teaching, and there was aromatherapists there, botanists were there. So it was so crazy because I was interested into like a herbalism course, and when I go through and like look at the herbalism courses, like a lot of the things that were talked about at that conference were what is included into a herbalism course. But we did herb walks. I got to literally, like how we're sitting down right now, I sat down with Rosemary Gladstar like this and talked to her and just asked her questions, and she's very super down to earth. It has a lot of wisdom to instill to a lot of people. Not only that, but then, you know, if you've been to the farm too, that they have the birth center there. So you read, I'll read. That's what I was about to say. I'm like, we met her, Ina Mae Gaskin. She's the lady. She talked to us about how it started.
Midwifery.
Yes.
She had a whole natural childbirth.
Okay.
She said that they said that they still have it. She said it's world renowned. Like, even when we were there, it was somebody from California. They had did a bus, like, you know, renovated a bus, and it was a family, and they had like three children, I think, and she was getting ready to give birth, but she came here from California to give birth there.
Yeah, they were staying there for the last few weeks.
For the last few weeks, yeah. So she was like, people travel here to give birth here because they know about them and the work that they do. So I was like, to hear about that story and just to know the people that we were with. You said you would go there? Ooh, I never thought about going there.
I forgot. Going there and seeing all of that, their expertise.
It's peaceful, yeah. They got land out there. Like,
they are good.
But yeah, I was in heaven when I was there. Like, Quinton knew I was in heaven too, because I was like, I'm really a nerd when it comes to like herbalism. Yeah, you did. It was really good. It was good vibes, good people. When we first started, we did like this earth circle, just pretty much giving thanks for being there. And then we went to a bonfire there where they played. There was a really awesome drum player there. And it's just like the energy. Vika, yes. He did. I could really feel the energy in his drumming, and it just makes you want to dance. And it was beautiful. I think they're thinking about having another one, hopefully maybe this year. Here at the farm that we are at, actually, because the person who was hosting is actually moving here. So yeah.
What's the farm that you're at?
We're at Urban Sprout Farms. We're really good friends with them. That's where Quinton said where we started growing food and all when we were sophomores in college. So that was about 5-6 years ago.
When you say you're at Urban Sprout, that means you grow food there, or you? We're
not even really. We're just really more so just associated now. But we really helped in the beginning. We were young college students, so I was one day at Georgia State, and I saw this flyer that just said urban farming interns needed. And I knew that Quinton was into gardening, so I actually sent it to him, and he took on the position. And the way I got involved is because, like, I was just stressed with work, and Quinton's like, come out here to the farm and see what it's about. And from there, we just, like, we're putting in some work. For the, farming is no light work.
For a few years.
It's hard work.
Yeah, for a few years.
For a few years, until Urban Eden took off, and then we took on more with Urban Eden. It's taking up our time. For sure.
Oh my goodness.
Good
time. So how can people get in touch with you if they want to follow you on social media, if they want to purchase your Urban Eden soap?
Yeah, you can add us on Instagram at Urban Eden, HERBNEDEN. And that's the one that we use mainly. We do Instagram stories and post all of our stuff on there together. Then we also have a Facebook, Urban Eden as well. And then you can shop from both of those platforms, actually, because they're both business pages. But we do also have the website, www.urbaneden.com. So that's a good way. And then even on Instagram, there's a call button, so you can call my phone too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have to have a certain amount of followers to do that? Like 10,000 or more or something?
No. To
That's
have that on there? No, you just gotta create a Facebook business page.
Okay.
And then you just link them.
To the Instagram.
Oh, yeah,
That's cool.
Oh, you have to have a
link them.
Facebook business page.
That's cool.
Because Facebook owns
And people
Instagram.
find you all over. Like you were talking about a big order you had from California,
Instagram.
right? That was like huge.
That was from Instagram. They found us through Instagram. And at the time, we only had like 1,100 followers on Instagram. So that lets you know that it didn't really matter. Numbers really don't matter.
Yeah, they really just
about
like
the energy.
product.
They just they saw the product, and they were talking to her. They're like, yeah, we want these.
Yeah, and they asked us to make 4,000 soaps for them. I had never, at the year, that was last year. And when we first started talking, it was the year before then. So it was last year, 2017. We started talking at the end of 2016. When she asked me to make 4,000 soaps, I had never made 4,000 soaps. Like,
We had never made 400.
in a year. Like, we had never done that.
Wow.
So that
Wow.
actually helped us to increase our production and learn how to make.
It kind of forced you to have to get the right kind of equipment.
Forced
and
us.
things. Yeah.
Literally forced us.
It
Right.
forced us, and
That's
it was
cool.
I knew it was challenging because I had never done it, but it was like I felt like it was a challenge that I wanted to take on.
And,
Like,
and they needed it in 6 weeks. So it was like, can you do it? And we're like, yeah. But in the back of our head, we're like, how are we going to do
How are we
this?
gonna do it?
We had so many people come out and help us. We had people help us make the molds. We had people come out and help us make soap. Had people come out and help us wrap the soap. And then we drove the soap to California. That's how we ended up going to California.
Wow,
we
that's
drove
so
4,000
cool.
soaps.
We missed the shipping day because we was our first time.
You missed
so.
the shipping date.
Well, we didn't. Okay, like so, since it was since it was our first.
Let's try.
Tell the story of it to the go.
Well, no, like since it was our first experience. I mean, you never produced that much, so you don't know how. I mean, I'm not gonna say I didn't know, but
What,
Is it
how much
estimated?
really was.
yeah, like you just underestimate. Me being a contractor before we did urban Eden, I kind of know how underbidding can go. That's what happened. We underbid it, and I was just like, oh shoot. So then I'm telling Terran, I'm like, well, what if we just drove it to Cali? And then we were just at a bonfire, just talking stuff. I was just like, what if we drove it there? A few days later, we're like,
Remember
we really need to do that. We were like, we need to do that. So then we shot a video. We shot a video right then and there to do a GoFundMe. Then we raised like $4,000 in 2 days to get it there.
We had tried to raise. We were expecting to raise the
That's
money in a
cool.
week, and we raised that money in 2 days. I was like, wow! Like community really helped us do that whole
Wow.
process. It was
That's
amazing. Yes, I was so thankful. I was so thankful.
So that was probably like
Wow.
a big pivotal moment in urban Eden.
People just donated to you.
Yes, they just.
And then, but a lot of the
donated to
people were
help us get there.
customers. A lot of them were customers. A lot of them were people that had followed us from,
On social media.
On social media
Yeah,
from
seen our
times
story.
when I talked about gardening and things of that nature. So I mean, that's what it is. People know. It was like 70 to 80 people that donated.
We did have a few people that we didn't even
Wow.
know. People who
Yeah,
were
some people
sharing the
didn't
post
know.
and
Do
people
you
that
give
we
them
didn't even
soap
know.
if they donate, or they're just donating?
They just
They're
donated. It wasn't a Kickstarter. It was just a GoFundMe.
GoFundMe.
It was just GoFundMe
That's so
where they
cool.
just donated the money, and we just really
It's amazing.
it helped us. It helped us to rent a truck, helped us to get it across the country, and
Wow.
gas was ridiculous. And then we had to stay in a hotel there, and all that money was used up literally for that.
Right,
And
right.
everything.
Sure was, because
Sure
California, just as we were talking, is expensive. So.
I didn't think it would be that expensive, but I mean, carrying because 4,000 bars is
I
1,000.
can't really picture that.
It's 1,000
I'm like, would that
pounds.
be-
It's 1,000
No.
pounds. So we
Yeah.
had to carry it in the truck.
1,000.
So
Yeah, we
one-
had to get a truck.
Because if you had shipped it in a box, it would have been like so much. You have to ship it.
It would have been
Like,
a couple $100.
It would have It would have been after the trip. I found another a person that could ship. So it would have probably been like $400 to $500 to ship it. But we
That's a
were
lot.
at the time I was looking at like the commercial people like UPS and them. It was gonna be over $1,000 to ship it.
And we had a
just-
deadline too.
And we had a deadline. I didn't have them. We didn't have the money. It was even to the point where, which is no one knows about this, but I got my
Now
car.
they do.
I got my. This is like entrepreneurial type thing.
That was then.
I got my
wasn't it?
car repoed around that time because I had to make a decision whether pay my car payment at the time or I had to get more material to finish up the last like 1,000 bars we needed. So I was like, I'm gonna pay for this material, and the car ended up getting repoed like while we were making soap one night.
We looked out the
Window and they were
car's
coming to get it.
gone.
I'm just like, man.
Okay.
And it was a low point. But I mean, just it paid off like so much more. Like it paid off
It
a lot
did.
because I had to make a decision. Do I want to buy this material or pay this payment? So it all
Wow.
worked out though. Definitely did work out.
Certainly. And we did a bucket list thing. We drove from the East Coast to the West Coast.
The feeling of just seeing America.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Did you drive the southern
Yep.
way? Like
We did
through-
southern and north. We did
Oh,
southern
both.
going
Yeah.
because I could
Okay,
not
cool.
do that Texas
I like
drive.
Texas is long, but
I
then
couldn't
when you
do
get
it.
to Arizona, New Mexico, it's so
beautiful.
pretty.
Oh, it's gorgeous. But
I
I
was
couldn't do
like-
Texas on the way back. I was like, no.
I had a greater appreciation for Georgia actually. By driving across the country, I was like, wow, man, like Georgia is beautiful. Like honestly, very, very beautiful. I'm not gonna say like you know, that Georgia is more beautiful than Arizona, because everything has its, you know, its own beauty.
I love the desert land.
But Georgia,
That
I just had a
is
greater
beautiful.
appreciation for our forest here. I was just like, it's beautiful. But just driving across that country, it's no other feeling.
We want to do it again.
It's ridiculous. Every time I
You
listen
probably
to,
will do it again.
you know how like when you drive on road trips and you have certain albums you listen to? Like every time I listen to certain songs today that I remember when we played on that trip, it reminds me of when we were on that trip, and I'm just like,
Wow.
I gotta go do that again. I think it was just the whole process, just those 6 weeks of making the soap, beveling the soap, having to raise the money,
And then it's
driving,
like you
did it, and then came back. It was just like, I was
A
tired.
vision quest.
It was just ridiculous, and you couldn't have wrote that. Like, I don't think I could have, like,
Right.
you couldn't even. I don't know.
So what's like the ultimate vision? Like, if you feel comfortable sharing.
I can answer that. The ultimate vision, just in life, or for Urban Eden?
I mean,
Well, Urban Eden is my life, so I guess
Everything is my life.
it's all. Well, the ultimate vision, I would say, for Urban Eden is to really become like. We want to be. Well, I know for what I said in our business plan was that we want to become one of those household. Now, I'm not gonna say. I don't want to use the word household name, but one of the choices. So when you think of soap, how now people first things that come to your mind is Dove, Dial, Irish Springs. When you hear natural soap, I want Urban Eden to be one of those names that you think of.
amazing.
Like that, you know. I wanted to be
Like
like
a Dr.
that.
Bronner's.
Yeah, like Dr. Brown. I want to be
Or
one.
like
We want to be
Shane
one of those
Moisture or
names, one of those
right.
brands that you trust when it comes to the bathroom. That's another thing. Urban Eden, we want the bathroom. That's what we want. We want your daily routine, your morning routine, your shower, your toothpaste, your whatever you put on for moisturization.
Right.
We want that. That's what we want. We want the bathroom. That's the ultimate vision.
We just the brand, like building the brand and it being a thing like Urban Eden. That's what we want to grow and build. My vision too, for sure, is to. Well, another vision that we have too is to definitely like we talk about this, but pass it down as a legacy to our children and keep it going as a generational thing as well. So I definitely want it to be very sustainable. Like sustainability is definitely one of our core values within the business. So I would think that that's like, we just want to be around. We want to be around. We want to be here, and we want to be thriving.
And I want to help people along the way too.
That's good.
Through my experience, just through our experiences, I want to help people. Just because, you know, you go through certain things on your journey, and you wish that you would have known certain things. So I want to help youth that are coming, and it doesn't even have to be youth, or other people that I can share my experience with, and they can find value from that.
That's the produce for yourself aspect.
That is that
like,
produce for yourself aspect.
That's what produce for yourself.
That's where that will come in. And then I'll eventually, my vision, I want to have a marketing type of company. I think produce yourself kind of would be kind of something like that. Marketing, consulting, kind of something like that. Education. But who knows where like 15, 20 years the society would be at, and what we might be on VR or something like that.
Right.
Showing people how to like sell on VR or something like that. I don't know. Like, you never know. Like, it's just I graduated high school 2009.
Right.
And these phones weren't even this advanced in 2009.
Oh no.
So
Yeah.
that's
Everything's changing
what is
so
that? 9
fast.
years from now? That was 9 years ago. So 9 years from now, who knows where we might
Yeah,
be?
who knows?
Who knows? So
I feel like things are accelerating faster and faster.
they are. So I mean, it's good. It's like good, but it's, I don't know. You just try to stay present, and
Right.
I don't try to focus on the things that we can't control, because you know a lot of things happen in society that you might not agree with, and you can't control that stuff. The only thing you can control is yourself and the people around you. Possibly, you know, have a positive impact. Try to contribute to the platforms in a positive light. You know, that's what I envision.
Definitely want a brick and mortar too, with an apothecary.
I think that kind of goes into
Ooh.
having that household name, whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Cool.
I want a brick and mortar. That's what I see.
Most definitely.
This show.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you,
This was a
Debra.
great interview. It's always cool to reflect on the business and
You inspired me again to get back on my interview and podcast. People, I
Right.
love interviews. I like watching them because I can learn a lot from people. Just hearing their stories or hearing what they go through, and you be like, we're not that much different. That's what you realize when you hear people. Oh, you're not that much different. A lot of people have similarities, and a lot of things in society try to tear us apart. You don't even realize. Craig always says it. No one laughs or cries in a different language. Like, we're all just so similar.
so true.
Yeah, so one love.
One love.
One love.
The flower of life.
Rocky Pad.
Yes.
Awesome. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
I love that camera, man. That